Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday, and you know what that is. That means it is time for a moment of presence. I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching, and I am so glad to be here with you today. If you happen to hear any loud noises in the background, it may or may not be roosters, but just ignore it. While we're waiting for other people to join us, please make sure that you say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're from. If you add your name, then I'll actually know that it's you, because otherwise I don't see your name and I don't know who's here. And before we get started today with our wonderful, fun topic that I've been looking forward to for 2 weeks, so thank you for your patience. If you know somebody that could benefit from this conversation, just take a second and go invite them. Tell them to get on and come on in and check us out. And just, share it with them. So I hope everybody is having a good week. It is not flooding today in South Florida, so that is a good thing. Do me a favor, and today there's a little bit of prep work that is going to go in with today's conversation. I want you to grab a piece of paper. Even a sticky is fine, but a bigger one is better. Piece of paper and a pen. Okay? That's what I want you to get. Piece of paper and a pen. So if you have to get up and go grab that, then go do that. And then we're going to dive in to daydreaming. So, do you remember as a kid staring out the window, just sitting there, or maybe sitting on the steps outside the front door, just watching the clouds and seeing what shapes form and which ones float by? Life for some was really easy, and others not so much. But we all had our daydreams. We all were able to have places where we would go, things that we would visualize doing when we grew up. And daydreams are like escapes. They're like mini vacations. And there were times that you may have even daydreamed about steps that you would take to get the life that you dreamed of. So before we go into our breathing exercises, I want you to think about that a little bit. Let yourself go back there while we're doing our breathing, and wherever it is that you would go. Or maybe just let yourself have a new daydream. Okay? And we're just going to have a couple exercises at the end of that. So make sure you have your pen and paper. And let's do our breath work and bring us into the moment, a moment of presence. So I'm going to kind of guide you through today's. So just get comfortable, and hopefully you're not driving and you can close your eyes. But if you're driving, that's okay. You don't have to close your eyes. So I want you to take a big, deep breath in and bring yourself back in time. Hold it and remember the feeling of daydreaming. And exhale, remembering those daydreams. And then I want you to breathe in again and remember your favorite daydream, the one you'd go to. And hold it and just notice the feelings that come up for you when you're thinking about those daydreams or that specific daydream. And then exhale any of the fears or the shoulds, the blame, the shame because you didn't maybe do it, because sometimes those pesky shadows come up and infiltrate our minds. And now I want you to breathe in and just be in the daydream, wherever that is, and hold it. Just imagine, just give yourself a few seconds to just really breathe it in and be there, just for now. And as you exhale, I want you to promise yourself that you're going to do this more. Make that promise. Yes? Maybe? Very good. Now, I want you to share in the comments how that felt. It can be a word that captures the feeling that came up for you. It might even be what your daydream was about, if you want to share that. And just go ahead and do that now. Anything you want. Anything you came up with. And now, one more thing we're going to do together. It's really quick. And I want you to promise yourself to write down the first thing that pops into your heart when I ask this question. Okay? No thinking. It has to come from your heart. So, take a deep breath in and ask yourself, what is stopping me? Hold it. Just let the answer come up for you. Let it just come into your mind. And then as you exhale, just exhale that word and write them down. Write it down. If you want to share it in the comments, that's great. If not, that's okay too. But write down, what is it that's stopping you from making your daydream a reality? What is it? Isn't it funny that as we get older, wiser, we don't think about daydreaming as much? But I would bet that you all daydream way more than you think that you do. Maybe while you're washing the dishes, maybe while you're doing chores, mowing the lawn, fixing something around the house, vacuuming. That's one of the big ones for me. Taking a shower, brushing your teeth. Let your mind wander. Let your mind daydream. One of the functions of daydream is to keep your life's agenda in front of you. It actually reminds you of what's coming up and allows you to rehearse new situations, plan for the future, scan past experiences. So what was the lesson? What will I not do again because I don't want the same result? And one of the really cool things about daydreaming is that it allows our analytical mind to take a vacation. And what happens is that we're able to come up with solutions. We're able to see outcomes. We're able to see clearer paths to those outcomes if we allow ourselves to daydream. Because as I always tell my clients, everything that you need, everything that you want, everything that you need to know about yourself, it's already inside. It's just that we don't know how to break it free, right? So think of, some of those financial gurus tell you to take a credit card and put it in ice, freeze it. So that way, if you ever need it, you can just hammer it and break it out, but you'd have to really need it, right, to do that. What is it that's keeping you from your daydream, and how can we break it out? How can we break your daydream free? So let's talk about that for a little bit. Yes, and Krista says she loves this topic today. It's a fun topic, and it came because I was inspired. Actually, a client sent me a song, Don't Quit Your Daydream, because we had talked about it in a session. and she heard the song or knew of the song. And so she shared it with me, and it's by Lily Miola. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And so some of the quotes that I may say come straight from the song because it's a really good song and it has a lot of really good points to it. So what stops you? What are the reasons that stop you from following a daydream? A lot of people say, risk, right? It's a risk. Or what if I fail? I have fear about it. And I love in the song, Lily says, it ain't big enough if it doesn't scare the hell out of you. And isn't that so true? If we dream small, we dream about what we already have, we're going to continue to get what we already have. We're just going to get more of it. And if that's what you want, then that's cool. That's okay. But we're here to live life to its fullest. And are you doing that? And did the kid version of you have a bigger daydream? And so is it scaring you enough? What you're doing now, do you sometimes feel scared and do it anyway? Because that's the stuff that really matters. I used to have to go up on stage and do presentations. And I remember the very first time, I swear, someone brought me a bag and I had to breathe into it because I was so nervous. And I was like, God, does it ever get any easier? And I remember this person saying to me, if you get nervous, if you have that fear, it means that you care. It means that you're totally engaged and you want something, right? You want an outcome. And so fear actually is not bad. Fear, or otherwise false evidence, appearing real, right? Because our mind will tell us all the things that can happen. Well, this could happen and this can happen and that can happen. But you know what? The bottom line is that if you don't do it, that's the failure. Doing it and it not having the outcome you wanted, that's an attempt. That's a lesson. That's not a failure. A failure is never trying. So do we say that it's a failure when, and this one people have heard all the time, a toddler gets up and takes their first steps and then they fall? We don't tell them that they failed. It was a great first attempt. Let's do it again. Same thing if you fall off your bike or your skates, which I did a ton of times. It doesn't stop us from getting back up. Now, when we get older, it seems like it's harder for us to convince ourselves to get back up. And that's why it's so important to follow your daydreams and let them continue, because once you stop, isn't it harder to then get back on track? And so I think that continuing your daydream, and for those parents and those mentors out there, really help the youth of today take those moments. Turn off the dang electronics. Stare out a window while it's raining and watch the raindrops dripping down the window and see which raindrop is going to hit first. And play those games and daydream again. Because that's when our sparks of creativity come. So some would say that time prevents me from going after my daydream. I just don't have the time. When are you going to have your time? When is it going to be the right time? Is it going to be, heaven forbid, when you're told that you only have a certain amount of time left? Is that going to be the time? Is it going to be when you have nothing left and so you figure I might as well go for it, but you really don't have everything else you need to go for it? If not now, when? When? Money, age, family. But aren't these all just excuses, really? And doesn't it really all fall back onto fear, which is really just false evidence appearing real? So the things, another part of the song, and I fell in love with this one, things we say we will get to are then shot down by reasons not to. I love that line. If it makes you nervous, it's probably worth it. And if you haven't heard the song, then please make sure that you go listen to the song, because it's you're going to be singing it over and over. It's not as bad. It's not like Baby Shark, I promise. It's actually a very good song, and it's very motivating. If we cannot do the exact thing that we wanted to do in our daydream, in our current daydream, our past daydream, what can you do that's going to make you feel the same way? So, back in the day, I used to daydream about being a Charlie's Angel. I did. I really loved Farrah Fawcett. And those of you know me know that I could flip my hair and get a feather like Farrah Fawcett. Anyway, I wanted to be Charlie's Angels, one of them. And I wanted to, go after the bad guys and, have my gun and catch the bad guys. And so that was a daydream. I wanted to be a hero. I wanted to be somebody that could go out and get rid of the, I would say do-badders, but I don't think that makes sense. Get rid of those that are bringing in negative to people and help bring out the positive. Okay, so I'm not a Charlie's Angel, but I do feel that as a coach, it allows me to do some of the things that they got to do. I don't tackle bad guys, but I do get to help people face their shadows, and we get to tackle that together. I do help people recognize what those shadows are, where they came from, and get rid of them. So the other part of that daydream, right? Because I showed you this weekend, I am going to get a concealed license. Not because I want to go shoot people, because I don't, clearly. I just want to be able to protect myself. And you know what? I learned today, concealed doesn't have to be about a gun. I can still protect myself and be in charge of me. That was a daydream of mine, was to have safety and security, and to be able to provide that, to have somebody that protected me, yes, which I do, but also to be able to do that for myself, do that for my family. And so I'm really excited about that. And I know it can be a political thing, and some people agree, some people don't agree, and that's cool. I'm not asking for permission. I am not asking for you to agree with me. But it is a daydream that I had, and it's something that I'm going to go do. Now, I also want to jump out of a plane and parachute. I don't know if I'm going to do that one. I might when I'm ready. And I don't know that I'm exactly ready yet. I kind of think I am. We'll see. But anyway, back on track. Daydreams. If it makes you nervous, it's probably worth it. So what right now is making you nervous, but excited at the same time? What is it that you daydream about being able to do that you're not doing right now? Just anything, right? What is it for you? Is it a job? Is it a promotion? Is it a relationship? Is it a degree? Some type of education? Is it a new gift or a new skill you want to learn? What is stopping you? And really, the answer is us, right? Ourselves. And it's about getting out of your own way. When we daydream, we get guidance, we receive answers that we've asked for, and they come up in our daydreams because that overthinking mind is taking a little bit of a vacation. Just, Krista would love to have an online store of things that she created herself. I love that. And you are extremely creative. Pursuing something I want. Yes, absolutely. Did you know that the average daydream, you know how long an average daydream is? Go ahead. Guess. Just 30 years. I meant the actual art of daydreaming, like when you daydream in that moment. How long? How long? Very close, Krista. It is 14 seconds on average. That's it. 14 seconds. And it can feel like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you know what else happens when you're in that daydream? And your creativity. Hello, Gabrielle. You know what else is happening during that time? You're being in the moment with yourself. You're actually enjoying being in that moment. Yes, and absolutely, if you can stretch it to 17 seconds, Abraham Hicks, that's when manifesting starts. So the next time you're daydreaming, just hold on to that daydream for 17 seconds. That's when your mind clears, gets into the creative part. Overthinking is pushed to the side on vacation. And your energy is now raised up, aligning with exactly what it is that you want. How many times has somebody had that happen to them where they were daydreaming and then poof, something happened and it came true? Came true. Yes, small increment. I used to daydream about being able to have my puppies working with me under my desk in my own office. I've used that one before, I know. And poof, I have it. I used to daydream when I was a kid about having different animals. And now I do. I didn't plan it, by the way. It just kind of happened. I have daydreamed about getting a puppy, a golden retriever puppy. And guess what's happening in a couple weeks? What kind of animals do I have? Wouldn't you like to know? I have a little bit of, a farm. And I may have some, chickens and some goats. Something that I thought of when I was a kid, but didn't really think of as an adult. But see, I even have like a little chicken salt shaker. These are things that they're there, but we don't always have to think about it every single day. We don't have to, we don't have to ruminate over it. You can just have a daydream about it, align with it energetically, and then it happens. That's called trust. That's called belief. That's called faith. That's called aligning with your dream. Everything vibrates at a certain frequency. And when you can raise your frequency up to what you're dreaming about, then that comes to you easier. Yeah, I'm going into a little bit of law of attraction. So the thing is that if you can't get your vibration up, and when I talked about what's going to make you the same, what's going to make you feel the same way as your daydream, it's being able to go, okay, when I am free falling from the airplane in a parachute with a parachute and an instructor, what am I going to be feeling? Well, let's see, exhilaration, freedom. I'm going to see life and the world from a new perspective. So what are some other things that I could do that could give me not necessarily the same experience, but the same feelings, the exhilaration, the different perspective, a bird's eye view, if you will. Sometimes you can get that from meditating and going on little, trips in your meditation. Yes, traveling a little bit. So I hope this really helps. And I hope that you promise yourself that you're going to take the time to allow yourself as an adult to daydream, to just allow it to come in and have a journal, write it down. You don't have to, but it's really fun when you do, because then you look back at it and you're like, oh, I did that. I ended up really doing that. So think about it, do it, right? Don't just try, but actually set some time, or don't, and just notice the next time you're walking outside to your car, take a little extra longer, slow down your steps, and just look up at the sky, notice the clouds. It doesn't take a long time. 14 seconds. That's it, 14 seconds. Everybody can take 14 seconds. And we all have chores to do. And how many of us lose our thoughts while we're doing our chores? That is your daydream. Make it what you want. Okay? Let it in. So I always want to make sure that I give you value during these conversations. If you need accountability, someone to lead you down the path, walk it with you, take those steps with you, keep you on track, then I'm going to just say it. Book a call. I'm a coach for a reason. And I specialize in this because I believe in facing the things that are holding you back so that you can move forward and so that you can have the life that you want. And yeah, it's emotional intelligence for yourself and looking at other people as well. So if you want more information, more details, I invite you to go visit mokshagrace.com. And I'm sure that there is a link for you. You can also book a call and we can have a chat. And it's just a chat. And, sometimes the chats are all you need. And sometimes we uncover that it goes a little deeper. But whatever you decide is what you decide. I'm just here to help. I'm here to help you facilitate the change for yourself. So remember to subscribe, like, and share these videos. Make sure to join the Calm the Chaos Facebook group. We have live Q&As after our chat, and we'll be going over there as soon as we sign off. And you get, when you join the chat, you also have a wonderful community of like-minded people. So I will see you next week. And remember, it can be the best day or the worst day. You get to make that choice. So choose wisely. Talk to you next week.